చెప్పు.
Ladies and gentlemen.
హాయ్ నమస్తే. మన ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్ను సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, లైక్ చేయండి, పక్కన ఉన్న బెల్ బటన్ని ప్రెస్ చేయండి. ఎప్పటికప్పుడు తాజా వార్తలతో మీ ముందుంటుంది ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్, తెలుగువారి గుండె చప్పుడు. హాయ్ నమస్తే. మన ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్ను సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, లైక్ చేయండి, పక్కన ఉన్న బెల్ బటన్ని ప్రెస్ చేయండి. ఎప్పటికప్పుడు తాజా వార్తలతో మీ ముందుంటుంది ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్, తెలుగువారి గుండె చప్పుడు. హాయ్ నమస్తే. మన ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్ను సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, లైక్ చేయండి, పక్కన ఉన్న బెల్ బటన్ని ప్రెస్ చేయండి. ఎప్పటికప్పుడు తాజా వార్తలతో మీ ముందుంటుంది.
I want you to keep your mobiles in a silent mode and as soon as he is here, we'll be starting the program. Thank you.
ఎవరెస్ట్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్, తెలుగువారి గుండె చప్పుడు.
Ladies and gentlemen, I announce the arrival of Chief Guest, former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu.
It's okay. Let the chair be. Let the chair be. It's okay, sir. You can just.
Bring it. One more chair. Yeah, you leave it. All of us will see.
See, we heartily welcome
Once again, I request you, all of you, to be very quietly follow the discussions because we have a wonderful plan ahead. Let me give you a brief insight into GFST. Today's event is being organized by, as I mentioned, Global Forum for Sustainable Transformation, established by Sri Chandrababu Naidu himself as chairman in March 2020. His vision in setting up this forum was to bring transformation through knowledge, organization, policy research, advocacy, and setting up a startup ecosystem. To give you more insights into the organization and its objectives, we have a short audio visual. Let's watch it. Can we have the audio visual, please?
Strong economy is a source of national strength. As the fastest growing major economy, India stands out as a bright spot in the world. After nearly 400 years, India is well poised to regain its status as a global economic superpower that it held until around 1600, when it used to account for about a quarter of the global gross domestic product. Currently the fifth largest, India is expected to become the third largest economy in the next 5 years. With the mindset of a winner and strategic actions leveraging its strengths, it has the potential to become the second largest economy by 2047. These predictions are supported by strong fundamentals. 4 things that make India proud: vibrant democracy, demographic dividend, consumer demand, and digital infrastructure. India's population is among the youngest in otherwise aging competitive economies. As of 2022, the median age in India was 28 years, compared to 39 years of China and the United States, 45 in Western Europe, and 49 in Japan. This demographic dividend presents an extraordinary opportunity. During his address on the 76th Independence Day, the Prime Minister emphasized the Panch Pran, or lifeblood resolutions for the nation, calling upon the youth of India to play a crucial role in transforming the country into the strongest economy by the time it celebrates its 100th year of independence in 2047.
The youth of today's India has the greatest potential not only to contribute to this country, but globally. Globally now, many of the large corporations, MNCs and Fortune 500 companies have the support of many Indians who are now leaders in the board, leaders as the chief executives and chief technology officers, and also in public domain. So this is the inspiration drives GFST to train the youth and take them forward to be global leaders. We are trying to be an advisory and advocacy organization, not only for entrepreneurs but also for public policy makers.
GFST organization aims to unlock the potential which several Indian states have and Indian youth has, right from the emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, and even the logistics space. And since India has a long coast corridor, even developing the boat-based development policy making and various other policy issues also. The organization aims totally for all-round development of the country and to bridge the gap between the rich and poor so that we will have an equitable society in the coming days.
With the largest global diaspora, young and skilled Indian will be global citizen and will dominate the corporate, public governance and technological leadership. Indian consumer will spur the global demand of goods and services for the next 3 decades at least. Technology-driven fourth-generation enterprise in all sectors of economy, agriculture, industry and service will lead the future growth of Indian economy and well-being of its people. Recognizing this potential, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, a visionary leader, laid the foundation of Global Forum for Sustainable Transformation, GFST. GFST is an apolitical not-for-profit think tank and policy advisory group for research and strategic sectors critical for transformation of India as a global leader. GFST is a platform for knowledge sharing, enterprise promotion for sustainable transformation of economies, enterprise and communities for overall well-being and happiness. Some of the sectors of interest at GFST are deep technology and digital transformation, infrastructure and logistics, strengthening startup ecosystem, institutional change management, social impact enterprise. Guided by the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, or the earth is one family and a more equitable world, GFST seeks sustainable transformation of economies, enterprise and communities for a shared vision of one earth, one family, one future. How do you wish to contribute to this change? Join us to learn more at gfst.in.
Thank you. So our aim is circulating GFST brochures to all the participants, and there are brochures kept at the registration desk. You can go through and if you feel that you can contribute to any of the areas where GFST is working, you are most welcome to get in touch with us. Like at the end of the film, you have seen some of the objectives that GFST wants to achieve. As part of its exercise to fulfill these objectives and achieve these goals, GFST has started a series of seminars like this, what you are witnessing today.
you are most welcome to get in touch with us. Like at the end of the film, you have seen some of the
Thought leaders from different verticals together to brainstorm to develop strategies to ensure the country realizes its full potential regardless of the future that unfolds. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the objective of these seminars. So, post this event, we will be having leaders from different verticals together to brainstorm to develop strategies to ensure the country realizes its full potential regardless of the future that unfolds. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the objective of these seminars. So, post this event, energy and public policy. So, we want all of you, both experts, industry leaders and young minds, to use these workshops and participate and contribute. Before I begin the actual session, I would like to invite our chief guest along with the team of GFST to light the lamp before we commence the program. So, sir, can I? Now it is my pleasure to introduce today's panelists who will be discussing the various facets of deep technology and its impact on society. How do we leverage this technology, how India can progress by applying deep technologies. Here I would like to share one thing. When we designed the program, we thought of having a panel discussion followed by requesting our chief guest Sri Chandrababu Naidu to participate in the session, share his vision and thoughts with all the participants. But he preferred to be part of the panel and then to be engaged by you and also engaging you. So we are looking for a wonderful session, he being at the helm of affairs. So probably in my experience, I have not seen any political leader or a chief minister accepting to be on the panelist and then wanting to listening to what the audience also can contribute to the society. So first let me welcome Mr. Sanjay Jasrani. Sanjay Jasrani is the founder and CEO of Go North Ventures, a proprietary angel investment firm that specializes in investing in mentoring startups. As an active member of the Indian Angel Network and a charter member of TAI Hyderabad, Sanjay had made investments across sectors like healthcare, deep tech, unmanned aerial, sustainability,
consumer and fintech. Please come on to the dais, Mr. Sanjay Jasrani. Ram Deshpande, who is a partner at Ernst & Young, leads digital emerging technology consulting practice. He has over 25 plus years of experience in advising clients on digital transformation. He has worked extensively with Fortune 500 CXOs across consumer goods, retail, manufacturing, metals, mining, life sciences, etc. As a digital transformation leader, he has advised multiple clients on technology-enabled business transformation and adoption of digital solutions. Ram Deshpande. Sridhar Sheshatri is the co-founder and CEO of Spotlock, a deep tech product company based in Hyderabad and the US. Sridhar has previously worked at Facebook and EA Sports, where he led the product insights and the predictive analytics function. His expertise spans artificial intelligence, blockchain, quantum computing, and cybersecurity. Sridhar Sheshatri. Satish Lakaraju is the global head of air freight and pharma at Wizfreight, bringing 3 decades of experience in the logistics and supply chain industry. Worked at TNT Skypack, Dasher, and Agility Logistics. He is on several industry bodies as advisor on logistics issues, an authority on cold chain, airport infrastructure for pharma cargo handling and perishable exports. Mr. Satish Lakaraju, please. Shriram Iyer is currently serving as the sector leader startup programs at Ernst & Young. Inviting our chief guest of the today, Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, onto the dais. Our chief guest needs no introduction. Though it's a cliche, what more I can talk about him? A person in 2000, Time magazine named Naidu South Asian of the Year for turning Hyderabad into India's new information technology hub. Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu is pioneer in implementing technology-intensive administrative measures to optimize efficiency. He is perhaps the first technocrat chief minister who visualized and laid foundation for building knowledge economy and digital economy way back in 2000. He believes in putting technology at the heart of development. Just to give few examples of his Technology Connect, he was the head of 13-member committee of chief ministers to promote digital payment systems and financial inclusion in India, which was constituted by the government in 2016. Sri Naidu Garu chaired the National IT panel under National Democratic Alliance government. In 2001, he was described as one of the hidden 7 working wonders around the world by Profit, a monthly magazine published by Oracle Corporation in US. Among the numerous awards given to him in 2000
in India, which was constituted by the government in 2016, Sri Naidu Garu chaired the National IT panel under National Democratic Alliance government. In 2001, he was described as one of the hidden 7 working wonders around the world by Profit, a monthly magazine published by Oracle Corporation in US. Among the numerous awards given to him in 2002, he was chosen as the IT Indian of the Millennium by popular vote conducted by India Today. Sir, we have the honor and pleasure to have you with us today. Please, I request you to come on to the dais. I request Sri Thakkar sir to honor Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu by presenting a sapling, please. So now we are ready for the most exciting part of the today's event, the discussion part. The structure is like this. Initially, I give an intro to the theme of today's discussion on deep technology. After that, each panelist will contribute his ideas on deep technology, how India can transform to 2014. What we request you is, at the end of the conversations, I want all the participants also to actively engage. We have provided some slips for you to write down questions and then pass on to the organizers, or you can ask for a mic and then either you can make a question or a suggestion to any of the panelists, including Sri Chandrababu Naidu garu. So I want you to use this opportunity well. As India looks over the horizon to 2047, the 100th year of independence, there appear to be several reasons for optimism. Projections indicate that India is on the course to become
business applications, ease of doing business and addressing social challenges. The building blocks of the new age ecosystem are rooted in digital tech. India's ability to massify tech and use it at scale is one of the key pillars driving economic growth. The 2010s have been described as the decade of disruption. So much what is now normal barely existed 10 years ago. 5G, voice recognition, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things have changed how we communicate, manage our health and consumer content. Electric vehicles and wearable technologies have significantly impacted public and personal safety and health. Now, at this juncture, what we are looking forward to the technological advancements that can happen in the next 20-25 years, how they will shape our future. As a country, what should be our preparedness to leap into the future? In conclusion, deep tech represents a significant opportunity for innovation and economic growth and is poised to have a central role in building future society and industry. According to news reports, India has more than 3,000 deep tech startups catering to different industries and consumers. This being such an important and impactful sector, GFST has chosen deep tech as the topic for its first event. And today, we have an excellent panel along with our chief guest to discuss these issues much deeper. Since I have the responsibility of moderating the session as well, I have some questions to the panelists. My request to them is to be brief so that we can use maximum time and we have a very diversified thoughts coming from the audience as well as from other panelists. So let me begin by asking Mr. Sridhar Sheshadri, who is actually developing deep tech products and he is practitioner at deep technology. Sridhar, what is your vision, how the deep technology will transform in the next 2 decades?
It's working now. Startups have actually played a crucial role, I feel, in last decade by bringing in a lot of innovation. Larger corporates have always struggled to bring in this innovation for whatever profitability that they want to maintain. And with the new policies, the way government, certain state governments have been very supportive, certain policies that have come up at the central government level as well. There are new entrepreneurs, even though it doesn't look like a startup, but again, these individuals are playing the role of an entrepreneur. That's very much like a startup. And I feel that's very critical if you talk about healthcare segment, you talk about energy segment, you talk about infrastructure. You name any of those verticals practically. There is a tech element. All the investments that we are seeing going into startup, it is driven by some part of it is driven by technology. The valuations that we are seeing, the lot of money that's actually getting from different investment perspective from different countries into India, I see that's actually because of the tech as well. The critical part here is how well we apply the technology more than buildings as the technology, and I think that's where we are entering in with the startups ecosystem at this point of time. So startup ecosystem I clearly see is very critical for us for seeing the 2047 kind of vision, we really want some very good use cases coming out of these startups, these becoming like large corporates. If I practically look at a decade ago, how we used to visualize
more than buildings as the technology, and I think that's where we are entering in with the startups ecosystem at this point of time. So startup ecosystem I clearly see is very critical for us for seeing the 2047 kind of vision. We really want some very good use cases coming out of these startups, these becoming like large corporates. If I practically look at a decade ago, how we used to visualize a lot of small SME businesses or MSMEs, which we never gave that value. Similarly, like if we don't do that today at this point of time, with these startups, the whole thing will really will be very much impossible. So what I mean is like we really want these startups to do well. These startups have to really change the whole dynamics in terms of different verticals, be it healthcare, as I said. Like there are use cases of diabetic retinopathy that like our startup has really invested and built something into. This is just like using artificial intelligence. We are able to like talk about different stages of diabetic retinopathy with very high level of accuracy. Be it like predicting energy value and maybe the load shedding status of a particular state. How do you really support discoms using like machine learning? So there are many such use cases. You can clearly look at like machine learning, AI, computer vision is actually very much heavily used. I feel like there is like a lot of value in terms of the technology that's actually now getting in. And the value will definitely get converted into the valuation for these companies in long term, increasing the value for the country itself in a large play.
Since you mentioned more about startups, let me bring in Sanjay and Sriram. Sir, I would like to hear from both of you who are involved with startup funding and mentoring. So what is the ecosystem that exists today in deep technology for startups? Yeah. And how do you see in the next decade, 2 decades, how this will shape up?
Sriram, would you like to go? I can go, sure. No, thank you, sir. I think one aspect I clearly see is that startups, because they have frugal capital, they leverage technology really, really well. So the current ecosystem, I think there is a healthy ecosystem right now. And of course, there is always scope for more. What I see, what can be done, so the ecosystem is really a combination of, there is infrastructure, institutions like T-Hub and accelerators, incubators, which are there and they are growing. There are a lot of private and global accelerators which are coming. Falcon X, for example, is a global incubator which is also started now. So there is a infrastructure which is available. There are institutes of excellence, for example, IIIT Hyderabad, where I also sit on the board of Center for Entrepreneurship. There is a wonderful partnership between the faculty and startups. So there is a very strong ecosystem there which works closely with research and faculty to leverage the deep technology there. And the third part, of course, is the financial and the investment ecosystem. So there is a bunch of investors who are naturally very aligned towards deep tech investments because they offer the highest scope to scale while being not so capital intensive, which means with frugal capital, they can scale. What needs to be done more, quick couple of points, I won't take too much time, but I do believe that finally every deep tech startup has to be solving a good problem. There has to be, it could be a social impact problem, it could be education related, healthcare related problem. So I just want to throw in a couple of examples here. For example, the whole ChatGPT and generative AI now, one sees Khan Academy, which is a global free learning organization, in combination with generative AI, can actually bring in education to the masses across India in different languages at a level where it can be immensely helpful to the children, and at different levels of their learning also they can benefit. So your question on how the ecosystem can be improved, can there be more participation from each of the domain institutes to work closely with the startups so that good use cases of the technology are identified and they can be translated into long-term, real and scalable solutions? That's my quick take, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Sriram.
To add to further what Sanjay sir said, so there are quite a lot of things that if I am talking about ecosystem would like to add to this list. So like for example, you require an active role of media, because unless you have active role of media, how would investors get to know that which startup is good, or how would customer get to know that which startup is good? We would also like to have institutions like World Trade Center, TIE, NASSCOM, so on and so forth, to have more set of events wherein startups, they get visibility, they get the network, because it's all the network play. As one of my professors used to say, that your network is your net worth. So we need to network more. That is what startups require more and more. Further, we would require more and more research institutions like RICH, NASA, so on and so forth, so that they can solve or they can share in their researches with the startups, so that startup, they really get in the value product, but also bring in a wonderful valuation. So bringing that into the ecosystem, how do we do that? Further, we see that government has been talking about a lot of incubation centers being mandatories and all higher education institutions. Furthermore, we would require that how do we really handle and manage the first time entrepreneurs, what we need to train them. So those are for certain few more things that we really need to think about from an ecosystem perspective that needs to come in. Further, what I would say last but not the least, but the most important factor is how do I think from a policy perspective, which is really going to change. Now, the elements that we and Sanjay spoke about right now, about these are the elements that the startup ecosystem requires. But from the perspective you see that I bring one more angle, that India being a country for one of the ancient countries, talking about GDPs contributing big time. But what is stopping us from a policy perspective to think that I am going to give you tax benefits to startups which are actually talking products? Now that changes the mindset. That will bring us far more faster to reach that #1 position in 2047. When I really talk about why not to give tax incentives to the people who are trying to really do something very, very new and try to do. So people will start thinking more products. Now that can only happen when a policy comes in that perspective. So lots of potential. Next 20 years, next 100 years, India is certainly going to dominate. I certainly have this gut feeling that we are trying to say that, being productive to say that we are going to be world #2 economy. I feel if we think right from policy perspective, which is more encouraging, I'm sure 2047 will be a new year of 100 years wherein we will be world #1 GDP.
Thank you, Sriram. We started with startups and funding, ecosystem, policy. Now let us go back and see how actually deep technology is being adopted. So Ram, I want you to comment on how enterprises, businesses or governments are using the deep technology. What is the demand coming from the industry? Then we can move to a use case, how a vertical looks at deep technology.
Sure. I think especially in India right now, the way technology adoption is moving, right? And especially given that government has enabled some of the digital public goods, I think that is driving adoption in India very fast. The other piece which is very important here is, while the startup ecosystem is, I would say, the fuel in that engine, there is a strong governance also required on top of that to make sure that these are the tools. And I remember in earlier days, there was a saying that it's like any technology is like a torch, right? If you give it in the hands of right people, they will really scale the civilization to next level. But if it goes in wrong hands, then obviously it can really cause some disastrous impact. And that governance is very important. I think the adoption is really, really driven by the reach in the market. Now most of the technologies, be it mobile phones, be it broadband, everything is available to the citizens in the remotest place in India. And that is actually triggering a lot of new use cases. And that ultimately triggers the excitement in the startups, and then that builds the whole ecosystem. Now, the governance part of that also is very important. And that's where some of the organizations like, the big fours, right? They play a very accountable role, I would say. Not only responsible, but they hold the accountability to bring that governance to people and make sure that they work very closely with leaders like you, sir, as well as the industry academia and others to make sure that the adoption is sustainable adoption. And it's not just a spike we see and then it actually goes other way, right? So that's my take.
Thank you. Satish, how do you see as a user segment in the logistics industry, how deep technology is perceived? What is the level of usage of technology for business purposes? What is your requirement from deep technologies?
So I think to just set the context more in terms of deep technology and the startups and the rest of them, logistics undoubtedly is the oldest profession. Probably prostitution was considered as the oldest profession, and then the logistics came into it. But as far as technology is concerned and its adoption is concerned, you're not even at a 1% or a 2% really in terms of everyone using it. Probably Amazon is one case of a solid deep technology used. But if you look at today, if you look at a basic fundamental in logistics, you almost do 17 times a data entry before a shipment moves from a point A to a final point B in the other part of the world. Now, if you have technology, you should not be entering data 17 times because it's criminal in that sort of it. A fundamental thing that has happened over the years is that logistics companies have tried to build their own technology, but 99% of them, after burning millions of dollars, have not been able to build the technology and have failed. So there are a few set of people who give you a technology which is there. The tech companies don't understand our requirement. The biggest challenge, Ram, for all of us to understand is that guys pass out from IITs, Purdue universities, you name it, and they would have built billions of dollars. But when I talk to a lot of the tech guys who come up and throw things at us, we actually shocked is the understanding of the end-to-end visibility and the rest of them is really a bad situation. Now, matured companies that are there in country like India, I'm not even going to a GE or someone where technology is highly required, because you've seen what has happened in pandemic, how vaccine was distributed and how technology really helped us to get. All of us sitting here undoubtedly have got a vaccine, and that was a combination of both technology and supply chain, which resulted that we did not happen sort of it. But why you need a deep technology to understand is if the temperature excursion would have happened and the vaccine which would also be given at 228 would have come at a 15 degrees, how would you have mapped it and what would be the corrective action sort of it. So one, for everyone to understand in this hall and what needs is, there is a great need of our to get your technology right with a clear motive is your end customer. The big elephant in this room is your end customer who is asking for faster, cheaper and right quality at the right time. Because today someone like a Blinkit today delivers in Gurgaon where there are no roads literally in 9 minutes before your son gets off your bed and goes and picks up. The mother is saying, beta, doodh lao. And she's saying, abhi thodi der mein laata hu. Blinkit brings it and gives it you. Because there is a deep tech that was used to get it right. But on the other side of it, today a custom system, and the word custom really means kast dene wala admi. Okay, in a true sense. The custom system still drops every 40 minutes and you are not even sure whether your shipment can get onto the next flight. So there is a lack of visibility in terms of, is my system up? 2, can I load it on an aircraft? So then you have a gap between where you do not know sort of it. So I think end of the day, even if for all the people who are trying to do startups, talk to senior veterans like us in the logistics industry to understand what is the requirement and what is readily available. Today we see that there's already a system available being run by an X company, but Y is trying to make the same thing in a new form and shape. So you're confusing it. So first the startups in the ecosystem need to talk to themselves very clearly and understand, is there a need for another startup to come? Otherwise you will come and you will go, like Sanjay and we were talking off late, the mortality rate is going to be extremely high. And then the last bit that I want to tell you is that there should be some madness in why you are doing this purpose, because anything without a purpose is a disaster. Like when I was talking to sir offline, is that how can we help our farmers to put our produce in the US? Half our population from Andhra and Telangana are, where are they sitting? They are sitting in the North America and Canada. If they want a vegetable today, it is coming from China or it is coming from Canada. It is not going from Andhra. Now, how can you get this produce consolidated and sent to that part of the world? And how can you put all these aircraft quantums together is not something which no one is working today. And unfortunately, that is what we are trying to solve now. And that's how we've set up our own tech center, saying is that no one will solve it for you. You get your fund, you get your thing. And now, like I was telling, we are 1,000 employees in less than 2 years. We are in 12 countries. And all the big brands have started to work with us. Because we've got it right somewhere. I think that is what I can only tell you, is that we've definitely got it right. So I can take a little more questions later, but I'm giving you an insight of what is happening.
Thank you. Sir, over to you now. Couple of decades ago, when there is no infrastructure, both physical or IT, no human resources are available. Today we are talking about a lot of technologies, startups, ecosystems and all that. But the way back in 20 years back, you have transformed an agrarian economy into something like a future-focused, technology-driven economy, and prepared it for the 21st century, for the needs. Big round of applause for that.
Thank you.
So, now a lot is happening. India is like now becoming top 3 globally. Lot of young entrepreneurs are coming up. So now what is your vision? Because always you are ahead of technology and always you have seen how to use technology for the societal benefit. So what is your vision with all the happening around us?
Thank you. Ravi Garu, thank you. I am very happy to be here. That too, we are going to reach very soon 100 years independence. Recently we celebrated 75 years independence. Now this is the subject, deep technology by GFST. Many of you, some of you may aware, some of you may not aware, where we are sitting here, this area. No access to this area. Jubilee Hills is the dead end. There is no proper road for this place. Even only jeeps can come or bullock carts can come. Now, driverless cars are coming now, traveling. That is how things are happening. When I started how to promote technology, nobody had a clue on that time. At least you are all talking now, so many clues. If you do like this, it will happen like this, everything is available. At that time, nobody had any clue. Bill Gates, after inventing internet, then I thought, this is where a new technology is coming. For anybody, either individual or a government or company, those who will adopt technology, they will have a leapfrog development, or they must be in a position to survive in competitive world. That is where we had series of meetings how to promote information technology. At that time, information technology means in little bit Bangalore, Noida, and also Pune. Little bit lightweight Chennai. Then I thought to create infrastructure, what to do. Then first thing, high-tech city tower, with brainstorming, that BOOT. Then I went to America to promote. At that time, I'm very, very passionate to promote all these things. All the way, I went all corporate giants. One by one, 15 days, meeting CEOs and chairmen, going on sensitizing them that India is going to be a giant in information technology. We are very strong in mathematics. Zero is invented by Indians. And also British, while going, they left English. They have taken Kohinoor diamond. But nobody can take away English. These are all the two deadly combinations for information technology. Then after that I came here. I started number of engineering colleges. If you see today, Triple IT. Triple IT at that time, earlier Channareddy, the then Chief Minister, constructed for Rangareddy District Collectorate. Then people agitated, it is far away, we don't want to go there. Then I started Triple IT in Gachibowli. And then number of engineering colleges. Even employment at that time, all our people used to do only job work. From America, they used to send all the scripts. Night time, they used to work daytime. They used to send all medical transcriptions, everything. People will add and send it. Only we used to get peanuts. Then I used to say, this is not our business, you have to go for products. Then slowly, even English pronunciation was a problem at that time. Then I brought best lecturers from London, from America, all these people, how to teach them, all these things we have done. Then one by one companies have come. Engineering colleges, we have started more and more. Finally, at that time, if you see, technology, nobody, even I had a problem, bigger problem, no bandwidth. There are two great companies, public sector companies. One is BSNL, domestic. Another is VSNL, international. Both are public sector companies. You wanted to contact anybody, it will take 5 days or 1 week or one month. And at the same time, you want to have a lightning call also, it will take so many hours, so many days. But you know one operator in the exchange, you will give directly. That were the days. Even international calls, so much of difficulty to get, prohibitive cost. Then I studied all over the world how things are happening, how China is adding all these things. Then I forced 3 prime ministers, successive prime ministers, Devagowda ji, Gujral, and then ultimately Vajpayee. Then Vajpayee ji agreed how to do it. Then he told me, no, we have to pay shareholders, market, how to handle all these things. Then I said, everything is possible, you pay premium. Then he constituted a committee. Myself and the then Prime Finance Minister Center, we gave a report. That is how deregulation of telecommunication sector has come. Within 1 year, 2 years, from 20,000 rupees phone has come to 2,000 rupees. Now smartphones have come. From phone you are able to work anywhere to anywhere. That is the beauty of all these things. I traveled all these things from the beginning. I remember even I asked Bill Gates to come to, I wanted to meet him. He was very busy at that time and also he was an icon, all these things. He refused to meet me. I don't have any business with politicians. Politicians are different, business people are different. Then I told him, I sent a message through his ambassador. I am having a work with you, I want to meet you 10 minutes. Then finally he gave me appointment. Then I prepared laptop presentation, all these things. At that time, this type of presentations also nobody used to do. Even professionals were unable to do. Then I prepared presentation with beautiful vision, everything. So much of time I spent, my secretaries, everybody. Then he spent with me 45 days, 45 minutes. Then he asked me, what you want? I don't want anything. You recognize the strength of India and Indians on IT. If at all you are convinced, you come and start up your company, Microsoft in Hyderabad. That was my request. Then finally, he said, I'm not coming anywhere today, but let us wait, watch. Then I went all the way from here to Seattle. So many times I met him in Davos. Then he became a good friend of mine. Then ultimately he sent a word, yes, I'm convinced I will start Microsoft Development Center in Hyderabad, first of its kind after Seattle. Then employee of Microsoft has become president of Microsoft today. You see, one step you move forward, one step automatically it will help. That is the ecosystem we built step by step. That is where this Cyberabad, this area, if you can see Hyderabad, we have planned knowledge economy. One side information technology, one side pharma, another side biotechnology, another side finance. All these things we are able to integrate. Now people are enjoying the dividends of our effort at that time. So, as you rightly mentioned, maturity has come now. Indians are having advantage of technology. That is our USP. I can say it is in our genes now. And also, all over the world, Indians are doing extremely well. We'll come towards that also. First mover advantage for Andhra people, Telugu people. Initial movers advantage. That's why you go to any country, I used to say all these things for the last 25 years. Out of 4, globally, 1 is Indian. Now it has increased also. Among Indians, out of 4, or out of 100, 30, 35 are from Telugu people. That is how first mover advantage has come. Second advantage, demographic dividend. India got a very good advantage. Just now you have seen this slide. I am having strong belief on youngsters. They can do wonders now. These are all the deadly combinations for knowledge economy. So, beginning of infinity, you want to do anything, you can get it done, but leadership is important. That is where all of us, this conference is meant for that. Where to take, how to take, everything is available. Tomorrow, some more things will come. How we are going to take this technology to all walks of life. Deep dive. Second, how policy makers can make a public policy to promote this for overall benefit of the common man. We are all talking only entrepreneurs, ecosystem, that's good. But at the same time, all of us has to keep general public, poorest of the poor, or masses, how to empower them. This is where I am very much interested with all of you. I am a student. I want to learn from you. Sometimes learning is a continuous process. Sometimes what you learned earlier, it has become irrelevant. New things, again we have to learn continuously and apply our mind. So I want to listen more from you, how to take the benefits of all these things to the common man. There also I want to discuss some of the items. One is if you can go through, India is a great country. Even from the beginning, India is a great country. 400 years back, we are great. After that, so many innovations, so many people have come, they destroyed economy, they looted economy, all these things have happened. 1991, that to Telugu man, P.V. Narasimha Rao, has started economic reforms. That is the beginning of turning point for India. That is where so many engineering colleges, medical colleges, all these things have come. This is where, after economic reforms, PPP model, public-private partnership, I can call it P3 model. This model is creating wealth. That is the result of, if you see all of you, you may not visualize, but people are enjoying because everything is available now. Roads, one example. All national highways earlier, to reach place to place, very difficult. Small country, Malaysia, they had 8-lane road, 1,000 kilometers east-west corridor. I traveled that road. Then I met the then Prime Minister. I am feeling very bad. I am feeling ashamed of it. Small country, 2 crore population, they are having this road, we must have. Then he told me, where is money? Money is not necessary, money will generate. That is where we brought first time, under PPP model, BOT, build, operate, own and transfer. First proof of concept, Chennai to Nellore. Today if you go anywhere, your national highways, very, very happy, drive to, we are having pleasure to drive. That is the beauty of all of our roads. One decision has made all the difference to reach the last mile. Now national highways are having abundant funds. Where is the funds? Users are paying. Now they are going with the technology now. That is where deep drive technology, cameras, automatically to lead your car, then bill will come to you, no pain for you, no corruption. That is the benefit you got it. Then recently I am thinking, why can't you make all roads, including state highways, BOT model, then collect money from cars, four-wheelers, totally, cars or buses or trucks. It will be win-win situation. That is the policies all of you has to think over. Now I am having one more thing, wealth creation is certain. All wealth are enjoying only few individuals or few companies. This is where I am thinking P4 model. People, public, private partnership. Make people as partners. And Sanjay is doing mentoring for startup companies. Why can't you mentor people also, depending upon your bandwidth, 100 people, 50 people like that, every individual can do it, then this country will become great country. 2047, no poverty in India. Every poor man you can make rich. This is my ambition, this is my desire, this is my request for all of you. find solutions for that. That is where I came here to learn from you. As a policy maker, I have seen bullock cart. As MLA, I used to get 3 cylinders quota to recommend. At that time, 3 phones won't work, only ornamental. These are all the quota. Today you are seeing all these things changes. Driverless car, bullet trains, and also fuel. At that time, power also so many problems. I had a